You said something about starting a company, right?
Yeah.
What are like the key things I should look at? Because now you've mentioned people not being afraid to fail, right? So yeah, they should start with the half-baked idea. So what do we look out for?
Well, I say if you have an idea, the first thing that you need to do is, go talk to somebody.
Okay.
So you're not necessarily. It's one thing when we talk to ourselves, to our inner being. We're always right. Right? Right? You're always, when you talk to yourself, you're always right. All your ideas sound good and it sounds great. But when you check with someone, right? Talk to someone, it's like, hey, look, I have this idea. What do you think, right? And then that person may also have a perspective that you didn't think about,
Sure.
right? That could shape that idea a little bit, to start bringing it into focus, right? So you start doing that, talk to a few people, run that idea, understand, okay, when it has legs, as they say, right? If it has legs, it means, there's interest, more people, and depending on the idea, understand the market, right? Who's the player in the marketplace today? Who are the key, companies that I'm potentially going to be competing with? Is it a market need? Is it a problem that I'm trying to solve today, right?
Okay.
With Ejuma, we know there are multiple problems that we're trying to solve, right? And we know from our conversations with employers what they want to see when it comes to a technology platform that helps to make recruiting and hiring easier. So we build features in response to the surveys that these employers have. So you want to test all of those things out, have those conversations, understand the market, understand who you're competing with. Is there already a product that already exists, right? And it's not going to take you months to do this, right? You can do all of these things in a couple of days, right? And then at some point, you're going to sit there and weigh out and say, okay, there's a pros and cons here. Does it still have legs that I can go forward with? And if you're going to go forward, don't go at it alone, right? Bring other people to it,
okay.
Right? It takes a village. People will bring ideas, right? There's certain skill sets that you are not good at, other people are. Bring them in. If you're going to do it all, you're going to be incredibly biased, and the product is not going to work the way that you want it to work, right? So I'm always thinking about, all right, so I have this idea. Let me run it with 5, 6, 7 people, before I even start to spend money on it, right? And then if all of those things check out, what does the market look like? What is all of those things check out? Then you can go through the legal process of actually, registering. Every country is a little bit different. In the US, you can build a full baked idea company before you even register anything. In Ghana, it's the other way around. You have to do all these paperwork, and you're lucky if your registration certificate comes
in a week,
in a week or 90 days, right? So all of those things, but I'd say the first thing that you want to do is stop talking to yourself when you have an idea and talk to other people and see if it has legs, right? If it's a viable idea, does it solve a problem? And you always want to, if it's a for-profit, idea, how do you make money? If you can't answer that question, then go be an NGO, right? How do you make money, right?
Yeah.
If that's one of the top 5 questions you should be asking yourselves in the first place.
I have a question. I don't know how to frame it, so let me try. I think it's similar to what I asked about if I'm trying to start a business, what are key things I need to pay attention to? I don't know if it kind of makes sense. For example, let me use the YouTube as an example. If someone asks me, Raygan, I want to start a YouTube channel, what are some things I need to look at? Like, invest in good lighting, do this, get this. When it comes to building a business.
So far, what I've learned is, number one, do people need your product, right? Have you identified the people that need your product, right? Do they have a problem? Or is it just that you want to make money? That's the first thing. Number 2 is whatever you're building, is it better than what they are already using?
Okay.
Number 3, can they use what you are building? Right, so you could be building something that they need, but whatever you've designed or you've built, can they actually use it? Does it make sense to them? Because sometimes we build things in our offices or in our rooms or whatever, and we think it's perfect, but then when somebody tries to use it, they can't. So yeah, can they use it? And then just in general, are you adding value? And I think a very important one is, can it make money? Will people pay you for this? I think people maybe we don't think about that enough, but is somebody willing to pay you 10 cedis for this every single month, every single day? How often are they going to pay you? How often do they need this problem? Do they have this problem? These are questions you really, really need to ask yourself, so that you don't waste your time doing something that doesn't make money, and then later you are begging people for money. It's like, you can actually build something now, today, without using other people's money. If that makes sense. It makes money because you've solved somebody's really hard problem for somebody. So these are some of the things I ask myself before I go in and start doing something.